Hi guys, this is Sadek from Rodman.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest CR ROM based on Android 15 onto OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First off, get hold of the latest Android SDK platform tools from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done so on C drive, and as you could see, these are the files of platform tools. Just give me a second. These are the files of platform tools. Once that is done, you now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. The debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's enable both the toggles. For that, go to the settings menu on your phone. From settings menu, go to about device, version, and tap on version number 7 times. This will enable developer options, as you could see over here. So now go back, go to the developer options from here in the additional settings menu. Then enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You might get a prompt on your phone, type on OK. And with this, the debugging now enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to the address bar of platform tools, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside the platform tools directory, as you could see. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then you have to unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on the PC. So carry out the USB fixture and verify that you are getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, you will now have to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do know that unlocking will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that's well and good, you could refer to a guide in the video and get this job done. In short, simply boot the phone to the fastboot mode, then use the fastboot flashing unlock command. You will get a prompt on your phone. So use the volume key to highlight unlock the bootloader and press the power key to confirm. And with this, the bootloader will be unlocked on your phone. And once that is done, your phone will boot to the OS as well. So please make sure to re-enable USB debugging on your phone once again. Moving on, you could now get hold of the ROM zip files. So this is for the OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9 Pro. For now, I'm using the OnePlus 9 Pro. So download the ROM zip file from here. And if you want to flash the GApps as well, because the CR is a vanilla package with no GApps, so download the GApp from here, from this link. Open this link over here, and now you download the GApp. So it has the core GApp with the minimal GApp packages. Then you have the basic, the Omni, the stock, and the full GApp, which has all the GApps. Please don't download the Go GApp because Go GApp is for only the Android Go phones and not for all the other phones. So for now, I'm using the core GApp. So for that, you could either use the Light GApp, Nick GApp, or Mind the Gap, Bit GApp. So for now, I'm using the Nick GApp. It's the most trusted one for me. So open this link and now go to download now. From here, go to the release section. From release, you have to now go to the Android 15 build. Choose the latest date, which is this one. And now for me, I'm choosing the core GApps. So get hold of the GApp package which correspond to your need. And once you have got the GApps, let's move ahead with the next step. So now you have to boot the phone to the fastboot mode. For booting to fastboot mode, just type in the command ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter. Your phone should now reboot into fastboot mode in a few seconds. So let's wait for that to happen. Once it's in the fastboot mode, now you have to type in the command of, okay, just a second, it's closed, not an issue. Now type in fastboot devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then you'll have to install the fastboot drivers onto your PC. We have made a guide and a video on the same. You could refer to a guide and install the fastboot drivers from here. Once you install the drivers, right click on the Windows icon and choose Device Manager. Then expand the Android phone section and verify that the phone is being shown here as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID in the fastboot CMD window, signify that your PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So let's now start out with the flashing of the ROM. Please make sure you have taken a backup beforehand. If that's all well and good, then download the firmware zip file for your phone for the OnePlus 9 or the 9 Pro. Once you've got the firmware file, extract the file onto your PC. So this is the firmware file in my case. Let me extract the firmware flasher tool from here. So extract all, extract it. And okay, we have already done the extraction. In my case, this is the extracted files. As you could see, let me show you. This is the firmware zip file, and we have done the extraction. Open it. Now just tap launch the update firmware.bat file, and the steps are same for both the OnePlus 9 and the 9 Pro. Simply extract the firmware for your phone and then launch the update firmware.bat file. The flashing will now start, and it will also ask you if you want to update the modem. If your phone is a US build, then don't update the modem. But for global, EU, and India build, you have to do the modem update as well. So let's wait for that to happen. So as you could see, we have got the prompt to update the modem. If you got US variant, then tap on no, or else tap on yes, hit enter, and it will now update the modem and flash the rest of the files as well. This might take up to a couple of minutes, so let's wait for that to happen. So guys, your phone will also boot to the fastboot D mode for flashing a few files. So let me show you that as well. This will take around 8 to 10 seconds for the phone to boot to the fastboot D mode, and then the logical file will flash. And as you can see, we are now inside the fastboot D for the shared ROM, and the files will now flash. And once that is done, your phone will go to the recovery mode as well. Currently, it's in the fastboot D, as you can see over here, but it will take around 10 to 15 more seconds, and then your phone will go to the shared recovery as well. And from then, we could flash the rest of the ROM file as well. And you could see we are now inside the recovery mode of shared, and the flashing of firmware is now complete. You may now close the CMD window as well. Now what you have to do is, first off, you have to do a ADB sideload of the ROM, but before that, please do a format data. So go to factory reset, format data, and format data as well, and you could see the data wipe is now done. Now copy the ROM zip file for your phone and transfer the ROM zip file inside the platform tools directory. So copy the ROM file, just give me a second. So copy the ROM zip file from here and then transfer the ROM file inside the platform tools folder, which you have just done. It will take a few more seconds. So let's wait for that to happen, and once that is done, rename the file to something shorter. So let's rename it to ROM, and the complete name becomes rom.zip. Just give me a second. It's the file rename is now done, and now you have to go back to the stock recovery homepage, the CR recovery homepage. Tap on apply update, apply from ADB, and if you're now in the ADB sideload mode, let's verify the same. Type in ADB devices and verify that you're getting the sideload keyword. So ADB devices, and as you could see, we are now getting the sideload keyword. And now you could do the sideload of the ROM zip file. So type in ADB sideload, file name which is rom.zip, hit enter. The flashing will now start and will take up to around 4 to 5 minutes. So guys, in rare cases, you might get this error prompt as well, that applying update 7, as you could see, installed device open error. So sideload package issue. So in this case, what you have to do is you have to also flash the wipe. You have to flash the file name as the, just give me a second, as the super empty file as well. So regarding this, I will show you how to get this job done. Not everyone will face the issue, but if you are facing this issue, then you are left with no choice but to flash this file as well. So for that, you have to get hold of the file from any of the ROM file. So I suppose Lineage OS has this ROM. So open the Lineage OS link from here, and this is the so it has the file. Download the file from here, the super empty MG file. Once you've got the file, transfer the file inside the platform tools folder. Copy the file from here, transfer it inside the platform tools. Once that is done, rename it to super empty. And now let's flash the file as well. For that, go to the advanced and reboot to bootloader. Your phone should now boot into the fastboot mode, and then you could flash the file as well. The command for this, just give me a second. I will have to get hold of the command as well. I have just used the files on my Nothing phone, I suppose. So the command is as follows: fastboot wipe super empty img. So I will link the command in my guide as well, this guide as well. So as of now, simply copy the command and paste the command in the CMD window and hit enter. It's now done. So let's now go back to the recovery. So ADB reboot. Okay, we are in the fastboot. So fastboot, reboot, recovery, hit enter, and you're now inside the recovery. Do keep in mind that you will not get the issue every time, but because I flashed the CR.ROM earlier as well, and in that time there was no issue whatsoever, but now I'm having this issue. So in that case, you have to flash the super empty img file as well. And once that is done, let's now do the ADB sideload once again. Before that, let me do a factory reset just to be on safer side. So it's now done. So again, go to apply update, apply from ADB, and now let me try the ADB sideload once again. Let's see what happens this time around. So as you could see, the flashing is now started. So whenever you face the issue of the error applying update 7 and error code 7, then please do the wipe of the super partition using the super empty img file. You could use the file from any AOSP ROM. For example, I am using the file from the Lineage OS ROM, but you can use the file from any AOSP ROM. Just should be for your phone. With that said, the flashing is now started and will take up to around 4 to 5 minutes. So let's wait for that to happen. So guys, the flashing is now complete. If you want to flash any other zip file with the GApps, then first tap on yes or else tap on no. So in my case, I want to flash a GApp package. So I will tap on yes and the phone will reboot to the recovery mode. It will take around 4 to 5 seconds. And after that, we will flash the GApp package as well. On the other hand, if you don't want to flash any other zip file, then just tap on no and then reboot to the system and your task stands complete. In my case, I'll flash the GApp as well, and you might get this fail to read command. This is not a cause of any concern. It's no issue whatsoever. Anyways, with that said, we are now inside the recovery. So again, go to apply update, apply from ADB, and now transfer the GApp file onto the platform tools folder. So this is the GApp file over here. Transfer it here and now rename it to something shorter. So let's rename it to GApps, and the complete name becomes gapps.zip. Once that is done, Now type in the command of adb sideload gapps.zip, hit enter. The GApp flashing will now start, and depending on the package which you have used, the flashing time might vary. In my case, I used the core GApps, which is the minimal GApp package, and it will flash in around 8 to 10 seconds at the very max. But if you use a large GApp package such as the stock or the full GApps, then that might take quite a lot of time. Anyways, with that said, in my case, the flashing should now be done in around 4 to 5 seconds because all the files have been flashed. These are the following 5 files which will flash in the GApp, in the core GApp package, as you could see, and it's now done and dusted. Once the flashing is done, if you want to flash any other package, then do so right now. Once you have flashed all the files, just tap on reboot system now, and your phone will now reboot to the newly flashed OS. Do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some time. That's all normal. From subsequent time that will not happen. So with that said, let's wait for the boot logo to appear or the boot animation, which will signify the flashing has been done successfully. And they might now appear in around 4 to 5 seconds, and then we will have a look at the ROM as well. But first, let's wait for the ROM boot animation to appear, the C-Android boot logo to appear, and which will signify that we have done the flashing successfully without an issue whatsoever. So give it a few more seconds, and then we will wait for the ROM to have the setup screen appearing, and then we will have a look at the ROM USB as well. And this is the C-Android boot animation. The flashing has been done successfully, and now you have to wait for the ROM to boot up to the OS. So with this, we are now inside the setup screen. Let's get started with the setup process. For now, I'm skipping the initial setup process. If you want, you will link your Wi-Fi, link your Google account, and restore all the data as well. But I'm skipping all that stuff to be on the OS at as fast as possible. So let's skip this as well. Next, and start. And with this, we are now inside the OS process. So this is the Android 15 build. We have only a few GApps because I flagged the core GApps, the Play Store, and a few GApps in the backend, Play Service, and all such stuffs. And this is the QS tiles, and we have the new Android 15 settings UI as well. Then the volume panel, let me have a look at that. So this is the new volume panel for Android 15 as well. And you may also add a new device over here or change the audio tweaks from this page as well. Change the ringtone, vibration sounds, and alarm tone from here. And apart from that, the C-Android is the main section where we have all the tweaks. As you could see, you may carry out the required tweaks from this section as well. For the status bar, quick settings, lock screen, buttons, user interface, notifications, sound, miscellaneous as well. So let's have a look at miscellaneous tweaks. So in the Google Play Integrity Spoof, you'll be able to pass the basic and the basic and device test. You will not pass the strong test, but that's not a cause of concern. You may use my guide, ask for the keybox file, then you will pass the strong test as well. As you could see in my guide, just ask for the keybox file in the email section via the comments and share your email ID as well. I'll share the unrevoked file with you, and using this file you could then pass the strong test as well. All the 3 tests you will pass. Anyways, apart from that, you have the unlimited Google photo storage as well. Netflix spoof, which will allow you to watch the Netflix in at least in DRM L3, if not in L1. Then you could also downgrade the apps from here. Sidebar, you may enable the sidebar and add a few apps over here in the sidebar. Drag it to open it, and these are the apps. You may also tap on this to open the app drawer. You may pin the sidebar, maximize it, or close it. Let me close it now because it tends to conflict with the back gesture, so I keep it turned off. And apart from that, the 3-finger gesture, let's say take a screenshot, it's working well and good. Then the usual wallpaper and style section is from here. You may change the colors and the theme of the UI of the ROM from here, or choose any other color from here as well. Switch between the light and the dark theme from this section. And apart from that, let's see what all it has to offer. So you may change the app grade. 5+5 is fine. 6 × 10, well, that's way too much. I don't know who uses these all. So for my, the 5+5 is the most which I use always. Then you have the icon shape for the status bar icons, the font shape and the icon shape, the shape for the apps in the home screen and the app drawer. Let's go with the pebble and hit apply. And this are now changed in the home screen. That's about. You may also enable theme icons. As you could see, they are enabled. Then you may also enable theme icons in the app drawer as well. So go to the app drawer. From here, you may simply enable this toggle, and the theme icons is not enabled in the app drawer. Let me give lock and unlock my phone. You could see it's now enabled. And you may also carry out a few other home screen tweaks from this section as well, if required. And in the recent app screen as well, you may carry out a few tweaks. So go to the home settings, recent, and then you may enable the Google Lens and the memory info also. the memory info will now be shown. As you could see at the bottom, it's now shown, and that's just about it. Okay, one more thing, the ROM also has the inbuilt kernel SU routing, so you don't have to use Magisk. Just install the kernel SU APK file and then you could obtain root easily. So I'll show you that as well. So for that, go to my guide, and in the download section you could get hold of the kernel SU APK file. So this is the file. Go here. Don't use the kernel SU, use the kernel SU next file, because the SU file will not work. You have to use the next file. So go to their GitHub page, expand the release section, and the APK will be right there at the end. Well, it's not currently loading. I don't know why that's the case. Oh, it's now loaded. Install at the end, and the APK file will be somewhat here itself. So this is the APK file. Get hold of the APK file and then transfer the APK file onto your phone. And then we will also verify if this supports the SUFS or not. But first, let's at least install the kernel SU app, SU Next app onto our phone. So file transfer is enabled. This is the kernel SU APK file, should be somewhat here. Just give me a second. Well, I don't have the, okay, in the APK section, the kernel SU Next, this is the APK. Transfer the APK file onto your phone, then install the APK as well. Let's now install the app onto our phone, and then we will have a look at the routing steps as well. Settings, enable it, install the APK, then open it, and as you could see, we have obtained root in the LTS mode. You could easily flash any mod if you want from this page, and if you want to, by default there will be no SU request. If you install a root checker app, for example, any routing app of your choice, then you will not get any SU request. You will have to manually give them the root access from the super user tab itself. Let me give you an example and show what I mean exactly. This will be easier to understand. Example, let's take a help of root checker app, and if you install the root checker app simply and then launch it, it will not show root because you haven't given it the SU request. And as opposed to Magisk, wherein you will get a SU request, that does not happen here. You will not get any SU request in case of kernel SU. If you tap on verify root, you will see it's not showing here. So what you have to do is open the kernel SU app, go to the super user and manually enable the toggle of the app from here, and only then the app will work. As you could see now, if I open the root checker app onto my phone, verify root, it's now shown as rooting. So always keep this point in mind. Then moreover, the kernel SU does not have inbuilt Zygisk as opposed to Magisk. You will have to flash the Zygisk Next app as well to get the Zygisk onto your phone. Please install the Zygisk Next module onto your phone. I've given a guide on that as well. Moreover, let's now see SUFS. So it's support that as well. So let's have a look at that mod as well. So this is the link for the SUFS. Download it from here and then transfer the file onto your phone as well. This is the link. In my case, I am having the file onto my PC. Just give me a second. This is the mod. Transfer it onto your phone, and once that is done, launch the kernel SU Next app. Go to module, tap on install, then choose it, and this is the mod. Tap on OK. It will now be flashed onto your phone. Now tap on reboot, and the phone will now restart with the kernel SU Next root and the SUFS mod up and running. So we could then carry out the required task as well. Just give me a few more seconds. During this time, the phone boot up might take up somewhat longer. That's all normal and nothing to worry about as such. So let's wait for a few more seconds, and then we will have a look at the kernel SU Next and the SUFS mod as well. So let's just wait for that to happen, and then we will have a look at the USB of this as well. And we are now inside the ROM pretty fast. So just now unlock the phone and get the required job done. So unlock it. Now launch the kernel SU Next. Go to module. As you could see, it's now up and running. So open the module from here, and you may tap on custom SUFS settings. And let me show you one more thing. So from the SUFS page, go to their official page on GitHub, then click on this custom settings, and over here, if you first off with the custom ROM height settings, which is the first tab, in this you get the height custom ROM path, the height vendor policy, height compact matrix, and the spoof service list. Then you have the height GIAPs. If you're using the GIAP package, you may hide that as well. If you're using the YouTube Revance, you may hide that as well from the third toggle, as you could see. Then you may also have the option to spoof the command line KSU loops. And if you're using LSPOS, then please hide that using this tab as well. But please don't use the next 3 tab because they are manual and SUS tabs. And if you use the manual settings, then it might lead to a SOPIC or a boot loop state. So unless you are sure what are these, please don't use them and only use the above settings or the one in the main menu, as you could see. So only use these tweaks or the one in the shown here, but please don't use the manual tweaks because that might lead to a few issues onto your phone. So guys, on that note, we round up this video. If you have any query with regard to any of the steps, you let me know in the comment section, and keep in mind that the steps shown here for the flashing of the ROM or SUS, FS or the KSU, all of them are applicable across both the OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro as well. And on that note, thanks a lot for watching.